Yeah. All right. So that's a perfect segue. I want to talk about favorite Cinderellas. Furman to me, Furman Charleston. Look, honestly, like you could talk me into every single 13 and 12 seed winning. I have 5, 12, and 13 seeds in the second round and 3, 4, and 5 seeds in the second round.
I have two 13s and a Sweet 16.
Interesting. Who? Furman?
Furman?
Well, wait, let me guess. Furman and Kent State.
Yes. Guard play, guys who can score on their own, and offenses that are tough to guard. That's why. Both teams. Sincere Carey, Mike Bothwell, Jalen Slauson, and JP Pegues, who was most outstanding player of the SoCon tournament, has really turned it up to another level. I mean, they're really good. And then, Virginia, I don't know that they can score 65 points. And I know Furman can. Like I know they finished 160th in the country in 3-point shooting. That's not the point. It's a one-game sample size. I've been there when Furman's hit 16, 17, 18 threes. Like those guys get hot, it can snowball. That's my big thing when it comes to potential upsets in round one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm going more on the 12 line for the teams that I think can make the second weekend. I really like Drake. Tucker DeVries is big time. They're efficient. I think that they can give Miami problems as well with their physicality. Darnell Brody inside. Are you going to jump in?
Nope. No. I was just going to ask you if you think that that Drake started from the bottom and now they're here.
Nope.
So that's one. I think T.O. So I know this might come off as a cop out, but Charleston or Furman will make the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
How about a Charleston Furman round of 32 game?
State of South Carolina.
That would really be interesting.
Wouldn't that be wild?
And two coaches who have some unique personalities in Pat Kelsey and Bob Ritchie. I mean, there'd be some chatter before that game. I'd be entertained by that one. We obviously have seen both teams live this year. You do a lot of Furman. I've seen a lot of Charleston. That would be interesting. I think that there will be a 15 over a 2. I think that the 15 seed will win.
I think there's one that I think has a really good chance of pulling it off.
And that team for me, pull out the toothpaste because I like Colgate.
It's not. It's not.
I'm not mad at that one.
I get where you're coming from. I'm worried about. I think the Texas athleticism is just going to be too much. Like Colgate, they're playing the Patriot League, man. Like I've seen too much of Patriot League.
Well, Langle's done it for a long time, buddy.
Yeah, they got a lot of shooters, but I know the game script that's going to happen when it comes to Colgate. They're going to hit a bunch of threes early. They're going to take a lead, and then they're going to realize, hey, you know what? There's a reason why those dudes are high major and we are Patriot League, right? They're just the athleticism will take over. Here's what I like. I think you got to take a long look at Princeton going up against Arizona. And the reason I say that is because Princeton has a point center in Tosin Ebwovuman. Tosin, I love you, man. You're a hooper. I have no idea how the hell to say your last name. I've tried it. I've said it 17 different times. You are officially Tosin. We got Ronaldo. We got Pele. We got LeBron. And we got Tosin. I'm not even going to try, my man. But I think what you can do to Arizona is you could spread them out. We've seen Washington State do that, right? We've seen other teams in the Pac-12 do that. Arizona can they are great against teams that are at their level. When they lose is against teams that are a step below them that can scheme them and match up a certain way. I don't know if Princeton necessarily has the talent to be able to win that, but I do think that like on paper, if you got a 5-man that you could pull away from the basket, 6 assists, they got shooters around him, like that right there is where I think that you can find a way to be able to beat them because they're going to space it out. And if they're knocking down their shots, if they're making threes like that, that could be some trouble.
Yeah, tempo's big there too because Princeton's about 171 in adjusted tempo. Arizona's 9th. So can Princeton find a way to get that game to a half court? Like we know this. Here's what we know with Arizona. Their guards are inconsistent at times. And when you have that question mark walking in, and Princeton has some size, Tosin is big time. I heard stories about him in the fall, just how much they liked him. He's got a great story. Being a guy from England, he was discovered discovered by a guy on the coaching staff who's, by the way, due for maybe a head job down the way, in Brett McConnell, who's the associate head coach for Mitch Henderson. Princeton is dangerous. And we've seen the Ivy pull it off. I go with Colgate because I think that Texas is more than capable of making a very, very deep run. I don't think that's not a hot take by any means. They could win the region.
I think they lose to Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M gets in the second round.
Which, by the way, that's a great game to watch. You said, what's a game that you have to watch? I will be watching A&M and Penn State. I'm fascinated by that game.
Booty ball!
Yeah, really fun. Really fun. So, maybe Texas is looking at their next opponent, too. And you're right, Tio. Matt Langle's been doing it for a while. It almost feels like Matt Langle's due for his signature moment in the NCAA tournament. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But I think we'll see a 14 or a 15 win. I don't think, I thought that Xavier got a really nice draw when I took a look at this bracket with Kennesaw State. I've studied up a little bit on UC Santa Barbara and Montana State. And
I got to take, buddy. I could
see the Gauchos. I don't love the way Baylor's played the last couple of weeks. I think the Gauchos will be in that. And I was looking at Montana State, fellas. They've got some talented pieces that could. The thing with Kansas State is you've got to find a way to disrupt Marquise Noel, get him to turn the ball over a little bit. Johnson's going to get his, but if you say to yourself, we're going to cut everything else off, then you've got a puncher's chance. But I like the Gauchos, the 14.
The 15 seed of Colgate, listen to this. I mean, a team, again, against high major competition, this may differ. That being said, since December 30th, they are shooting 40.8% from three. They are turning the ball over only 14% of the time. That's two recipes for success against high majors. You don't turn it over and you shoot the ball well. That could certainly happen. That's kind of where you have to feel good if you're a fan of Colgate going against Texas. But Texas is athletic. Colgate could get it. If there's a 15 and I had to pick a 15, it would be Colgate.
Yep. I think Princeton's a matchup. If you think any of us are wrong, by the way, you could prove it to us. This season, we have partnered with Run Your Pool, who will be hosting the official Field of 68 bracket contest. It's live already. You can go in there right now. I've worked with them before. They have more than 50 game types for every sport that you could think of, from traditional bracket pools to survivor games to head-to-head games to pick-at games. And my favorite is the squares. Scoring is customizable, and you can tailor your bracket rules to your pool. It's awesome. The best part, though, is Run Your Pool is giving away $1,500 in cash prizes for free. All it takes is you signing up at the link in the description below. play.runyourpool.com/field68. That's FIELD 68. Make sure you guys go and sign up. And while I got you here, Fanny, you ever get tired of trying to prove that you won an argument that your takes weren't bad? They were right? Well, I got an answer to all of your problems.
I do.
Vaulted is a new sports prediction app that turns your opinions into facts. You can store all of your predictions and all your hot takes in your own vault now and forever. Challenge your friends, keep track of the results, and prove that you are, in fact, the smartest person on the DTF podcast. Vaulted will also be releasing more than 50 pools in the next 3 months. So download the app at the link below. Sign up for your 3 months trial and store your predictions now and forever.